In the days that followed, Skyrim struggled to decide its own fate. There were councils, debates, and prolonged silences, but no deliberation reached a consensus, and perhaps it never would. After all, what should be done now? It was then that the Dragonborn made his decision, not aloud, not before the council, but in loneliness, in the same place where it had all begun, High Hrothgar. The Greybeards listened in absolute silence. Patronax understood. The word whispered by the Tsaesci was an omen, something possibly worse than any weapons of the serpent folk, now imprisoned in Skyrim. The records were clear. Toshraka did not follow Auron's sickle. It did not await the end of the world. It shaped it. And if Toshraka existed outside of that sickle, then Akavir was not defeated. It was recognizing itself. It was at that moment that the Dragonborn understood something no king, jarl, or emperor dared accept. Skyrim would never be safe while Tamriel remained fragmented, held hostage by decaying empires, and pacts forged in fear. The new concordat imposed by the Thu'um was no protection, and the empire was no longer the axis of the world. Thus, the Dragonborn refused both. He did not proclaim a new empire, he did not seize thrones, he did not crown himself. Instead, he did something far more dangerous. He removed Skyrim from the chessboard. Trade routes were withdrawn, defenses were reorganized outside of Imperial influence. Winterhold became a closed arcane center, Whiterun an independent logistical hub. When the Thu'um emissary departed, he carried with him a clear message that Skyrim would not kneel. The Dragonborn watched with silent disappointment as the other nations insisted on trading Skyrim as a bargaining chip, even in the face of a crisis. Or perhaps something even worse. And in Akavir, something answered. Toshraka had not been defeated. He had been awakened. During the campaign in Akavir, the Dragonborn often used a new Thu'um, learned in High Hrothgar. The shout was created to break serpentine movement, crushing posture, rhythm, and balance. What no one expected was that his shout echoed through time and through the draconic blood of the world. Just as Alduin once used the voice to call dragons from oblivion, the Dragonborn Thu'um acted in a different way. It did not bring the dead back to life, it awakened what was sleeping. The Tsaesci always knew this. They did not hate dragons, they contained them. For countless ages, their presence in Akavir held back the rise of the Thu'um, and, above all, a name they never dared to speak: Toshraka. All the persecution of dragons, all the invasion of Tamriel, it was a desperate attempt to prevent his return. But when the Tsaesci were destroyed or expelled from their own continent, the last seal was broken. By invading Akavir and using the Thu'um honored war, the Dragonborn gave an order he did not know he was given. Toshraka awakened. The Thu'um did not resist. They knelt. What they once worshipped as an ideal now became reality. A colossal golden dragon capable of uniting Akavir through diplomacy and the voice of fear. Toshraka had fallen in the Second Era, defeated by the serpent people themselves. But his almost divine nature did not allow a true end. In just a few days, Akavir stopped being divided. It became a living empire with wings. The other races, such as the Tangmo and the Kamal, were enslaved. In Skyrim, the signs came too late. Tsaesci prisoners in Winterhold began to repeat in despair that the Guardian has fallen and the King has awakened. The Dragonborn understood the cruel truth. He had not eliminated a threat. He had removed the last barrier. Akavir was unified and Tamriel exposed. When he summoned the council again, the reaction was immediate: collapse. The Empire demanded submission. Even the Thalmor began to prepare for a war they could never win. And atop Hrothgar, the Dragonborn did something he had never done before. He waited. For winning wars had never been the problem. The problem was his last one. The one he himself had awakened. Toshtraka's invasion of Tamriel would be driven by the draconic impulse to dominate, as well as to absolve the soul of the Dragonborn to further consolidate his power. The first blow did not fall on Skyrim, nor on Cyrodiil. It fell on Morrowind. The eastern coasts were consumed by golden flames that did not behave like ordinary fire. The sky split into cracks of incandescent light as Toshraka pierced the clouds like a living sun. Behind him came the armies of Akavir, Kapotun, transformed by the draconic blessing. There was no negotiation. Toshraka did not speak to kings. His voice commanded submission. Submission of the Dragonborn and of all draconic nature present in the continent. Calls were sent in all directions. Ancient hatreds were swallowed by survival. From Skyrim, marched Nords led by the Dragonborn. From Cyrodiil, legions desperate for redemption. From Hammerfell, warriors who would never kneel before a dragon. Even Argonians, guided by the Hist, and armies of the Aldmeri Dominion. For the first time since the First Era, Tamriel fought as one body, but this time the Thu'um was not enough. Every shout of the Dragonborn was answered with a counterattack from Toshraka. The final battle took place at the Red Mountain in Vardenfell. The sky ablaze and the ground cracked. And when Toshraka descended, silence fell. There was no speech, there was no challenge, there was war. And in the final stand, the Dragonborn advanced, and vanquishing his dragon enemy, its soul was absorbed by the hero. But there was no triumph. The soul did not dissipate, it exploded in light. When the glare ceased, the Dragonborn was no longer there. Some said he died, others that he ascended. The Greybeards never confirmed what actually happened, but Patronax only murmured that not every end is a fall. But in his meditations, something troubled the dragon. Patronax knows that in the dragon language, names carries power, and in his concatenations about the invader's name, Toshraka, conversely, Rakatosh, or perhaps Akatosh. Perhaps Toshraka was never just a dragon, but a function, a third way. Neither a maintainer like the Dragonborn, nor a devourer like Alduin, but a master of time to impose order. Just like Alduin, he had strayed for his mission. And if that was true, then the Dragonborn did not disappear. He became one with the dragon god of time. Tamriel survived, but it was difficult to measure the true price of that victory. However, when the wind blows from the mountains like an ancient whisper, some swear they hear a watchful echo. As if something still watched, as if the world still had a guardian with a dragon soul.